Hi, Tezzy.
Hi, Al. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Yes, great to be back for our second video or second recording, I would say.
Yep. So excited to get this going.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to say that we've decided this time around to do a Zoom recording, just simply because we don't really want to delay on putting these videos out. And sometimes it's quite difficult for you and I to get together physically. So we're going to have a combination of face-to-face recordings and videos, right?
Yep. Yeah, just so that we can, keep the momentum going. We don't want to lose traction here. We've got a good thing going, I feel. So whichever way it all manifests, let's do it.
Well, yay for the fact for technology that we can actually do this. I would say.
Yeah.
So in our last, and just to say thank you to all those that did like and subscribe. We say thank you very much.
Oh, yes. I love the comments and the interaction. And actually, we want to encourage more of that interaction and comments on the videos. Please let us know in our comments or email us, because that's all in the description, whether you guys have any topics you'd like us to address, discuss, bring to the platform. So please, we'd love to hear from you, and thanks for all the love.
I think that's a really important point, Tazzy, because the whole objective, I would say, the whole aim, the whole intent behind us doing this particular platform or holding this particular platform is for people to feel like, there is a space that is being held for them.
Yeah.
So, and we need to know what is top of mind for people right now. What do
they want? Yeah, what do they want us to hold space for is really
exactly
the question. Yeah.
So and I think everybody's going through challenges on multi-dimensional levels, on different scales.
Absolutely.
And so it really is to say, well, okay, so what are your challenges? And just, post and share, and we'll bring what we can to the conversation. And maybe we'll even bring in others that we know that could add huge value to
definitely. That's something we definitely want to do moving forward. And also, I think this is a great opportunity and a time for us to also share that this is really just everything we're sharing in this space is about personal experience, personal, things that we've come across through reading and teachings, in the schools that we've attended over the years. So I don't want people to get into their head around it being like gospel in any way. Just take what resonates, and if it doesn't, just let it go. Don't get stuck on it. Everybody is going to be, it's going to reach everybody at a different level. So just accept whatever it is for you.
I think that's a really important point. Maybe I'll just take it a little bit further. I mean, you and I are both metaphysicians. So we've studied metaphysics. We continue to study metaphysics.
Yeah.
We do come from maybe using sort of mainstream language from a spiritual space. So that is, I mean, let's just be really upfront with that. That's the maths of our world.
Yep.
But, and again, it might resonate with some people, it may not with others. And that resonating thing is really, really important. If at any point it's not resonating with you, you need to go with that intuition and honor it. And also to say, I mean, we're not gurus or, fonts of all knowledge or anything like that. I mean,
we are still students, really. I mean, this is what we say all the time. Life is also throwing us experiences that allow us to continuously be students, and relationships with everybody around us that continue helping us learn and evolve. And, that's just how it is. So, don't get stuck on giving us any kind of godlike status, please.
No, please.
Please, no. This is just sharing, holding space, and just so you know that this is a place where these conversations can be had.
Absolutely. Okay, so we mentioned in our opening video that we wanted to bring the question, who am I, to the table. Because I don't know about you, Tassie, but I certainly have had a lot of people asking me this question. Like, they're really grappling with.
Yes, that's the word I want to use. It's really a grappling.
It's a grapple, right?
Who am I? You know?
Who am I and what is my purpose?
Yes.
So that's another one. I think that could possibly be our
follow-up to this
topic, our follow-up topic. Or depending on how we go today and the questions and the feedback, because this who am I is a massive it's a massive question. I mean, it's got so many levels to it, so many dimensions to it.
Exactly.
So we might not, cover, might just cover one dimension of this. I'm not sure. We'll just see how this goes. But so we might do a part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah, just seeing how deep we go into the topic and the question of who am I. Yeah, because I mean, if I look at some of the courses that I've done over the years, really, you start really getting through those layers and you learn more and you learn more. So you can't really just get it really in one sitting. But we'll see what we managed to get through today.
But then just to put it out there that what is my purpose definitely is
one of those.
Is one of them. As the next
one of the kind of sub questions you would ask to unravel who am I? Yeah.
But I think, and certainly just from the map of my world, I needed to have a little bit of a backstory, of an understanding of who are we.
Yes.
As humans, before I could grapple with what is my purpose. Also, who are we?
So kind of like let's take it back a few steps, and like in terms of we keep saying, and we will mention this a lot, and we've said this before, that we are spirit having a human experience. So in terms of the who am I question, what does that really mean?
So I really want to make a point of that. And I just kind of want to slow it down here so there's some reflection. So if we are saying we are human, but in fact, and this might be the illusion that many are living with, right, is we are not human having a spiritual experience. Okay, I think this is possibly a lot of people may have that thinking or that belief. I don't know. But from where I'm coming from, my belief is we are spirit having a human experience. So it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So it sort of begs the question then, okay, so what is spirit?
Right.
And then to add to that, because I do get asked this question a lot, okay, so as humans, are we mind?
Yeah.
Body?
Yeah.
Soul?
Yes.
And then there's spirit.
Correct. So
okay.
That's an absolutely great starting point. And I think the reason why people get so caught, caught in the thinking and the mindset that we are humans having a spiritual experience is because we have this physical density, this body, right? And everything around us is a physical density. But in actual fact, everything is energy. If you really break it down to the science of it all, everything is energy. So we are just a dense form of energy, but this is not who we are. And I think many people initially struggle to move beyond the tangible.
Yes. So what we would term the 3D,
yes,
the third dimensional frequency that really as humanity we have been existing in for decades.
Yeah.
For eons, I almost want to say. I was doing some research on this and some reading, you know how I just love all the books. And I was going back to a book that I was reading probably 2 years ago. I'm going to hold it up, and it's for anybody who's really, really interested. It's called Something in This Book is True. And it's the author is a guy called Bob Frissell, Frissell. Really amazing.
I'll put it up in the description as well for anyone.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And in this particular book, they were talking about, or he's talking about, that, you know, there were civilizations that existed 13,000 years ago, i.e. Atlantis. I know, you know, some people will think, okay, no, this is a stretch. I, for one, definitely believe that Atlantis existed. It was a civilization, very advanced, of advanced humans. But there was this major catastrophe that happened. The planet survived, but the civilization, Atlantean civilization, did not. But they, you know, but obviously there have been pockets of humanity that did remain. Otherwise, you know, I mean, how do we still have humanity now? So I don't want to speak too much about that, because I think we can do a whole session on talking about Lemuria and Atlantis and you know, all of these amazing things. But what I do think happened, I think there's been iterations of humanity. And I think, you know, the first iterations of humanity, we were definitely much more higher frequency. So the vibration that we carried as a species, which was much higher, which would then make us a much lighter being.
Yes.
That makes sense. So, but certainly 13,000 years ago, there was this drop in density of us as humanity on a very 3D, third dimensional planet. And what you were talking about as our, you know, this physical body being dense, you know, it's vibrating at a much lower frequency. And I think that's an important word, Tassie, because we talk about frequency a lot. And just to say, however, that there is a mass awakening of humanity. And I think, you know, we may say the last 2 years have been really, really challenging, and they have. But the positive that's come out of that is a mass awakening.
Absolutely. You can see it in the awareness of people, the conversations being had, the questions being asked. And if you just look globally at the resistance to, you know, any kind of control that's trying to be put in place, if you're not feeling it, then people are speaking out. And that, for me, is like the vibration you can feel. It's definitely risen collectively.
And fear takes us into those lower vibrations. I mean, there's absolutely no question about that. You know, we know disease in the body takes us into those lower frequencies. You know, a mindset, you know, really being focused on, say, negative things or things that are stressful. There's some emotions, you know, jealousy, anger, all of these emotions take us into those lower frequencies.
Low vibrational frequencies.
Exactly. But I think the aim, and certainly what we are starting to see on the planet, is this raising of frequency, of vibration. And certainly in the metaphysical world, we talk about this raising of vibration into 5D. Almost coming out of this density of the 3D and into the 5D, and that alone is another conversation.
And that, for me, really, to start, just to touch on this really very briefly, is becoming less attached to the physical body. That is really what's happening, and that's causing the raise in vibration. Is people are not becoming attached to this and realizing that they are more than the physical body.
Right, beautiful.
This is now where we start really tapping into the who am I. So who am I? not just the physical body.
Well, not just the physical body. And then, so let's touch on mind a little bit. So we said mind, body, and then we can almost go into soul and spirit.
Yeah.
Because I think this is important. So, okay, let's leave the physical body for a moment.
Yeah.
And let's move into mind. So, there's a question that I often ask when I'm working, when I'm sort of collaborating with people that are wanting to know more about this, and when I coach, doing workshops, I always ask the question, are you in control? You, whoever or whatever you is.
You are, right?
Or are you in control of your mind, or is your mind
in control
of you? So I would ask the viewers just to reflect on that question again. I'll ask it again. And one almost needs to take a moment to think about that. So are you, or am I, in control of my mind? Or is my mind in control of me? So the common response, Tassie, and I don't know in your situation, but certainly the common response that I get, because I ask people to go one way or the other, can't sit on the fence.
Yeah.
I would say 80% of people put their hands up and say, I am in control of my mind. So
I feel many would say that, but if I'm going to talk from my experience with, whether it be clients or friends or anybody, it's that is the perception. But when you speak to them, you can actually tell that it's the other way around, that the mind, in fact, is dictating everything.
Yes, because we are programmed. You see, so this is now a very critical thing to bring into the equation, is we are so programmed in our thoughts. And there's been some research done. I mean, I don't know how they come up with an absolute number, but they say, from a psychology perspective, we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. I mean, it's like beyond. So
it's a highway. It's a highway.
It's a highway, and it's a congested one. And the reality of this is that most of us, are existing in our subconscious programming. So we're not even conscious of what we're thinking. And remember that thoughts then result in behaviors.
Yeah.
So most of the time, we are simply behaving from a space of subconscious. We're not even conscious of the things that we are saying or we are doing. And those thoughts in of themselves have been, I don't know, I suppose, birthed through experiences, through things that we have been exposed to from the time of birth. And for some psychologists would say even, while in the womb.
From inception and in utero.
From inception. Yeah, exactly. Or conception.
Yeah.
So really, I suppose there's what the message here is, to become conscious of your consciousness.
Right.
Because the ideal state is, yes, that you be in control of your thoughts in your mind.
So the higher vibrational you.
Yes.
The higher self. Okay, but that's another conversation. But yeah, and also it's important for people to understand the concept of energy translating into thought. It's like we think that energy is just something you can see, something you can feel, a tangible something. But a simple thing like a thought is an energy. And if you continuously, like overthinkers, overanalyzers, and guys, we also go there. We actually have to. We catch ourselves, remind ourselves, oh, Taz, you're going down that road. But yeah, even that is you are spending energy in a way. You just need to be very conscious of how you are doing that. And it's something that comes up for me even in the animal communication work that I do, is that people don't realize how much that affects relationships with the animals, but with anything that they are dealing with, any circumstance, any issue. So important to be conscious of your
and there's an element that I want to bring into this mind story, is this whole beautiful idea of presence.
Mm-hmm.
So how present are we in the given moment? Because that's all that there is, Taz. At the moment, there is not a future, and the past is the past. There is nothing you can do about it. But unfortunately, the mind is programmed in the past.
And to then fast forward to the future.
Correct. So in other words, you're almost dictating the future from the past. And what you're missing is this very, very moment, this being absolutely present.
Yeah.
In the moment, because that actually is all there is. And when you find that presence and you're able to go into that
space,
that stillness of presence, it is amazing what you observe, and it is just amazing what insights and beautiful
what comes to you. Yes,
comes
absolutely.
To you in a heart space.
Yeah, it's a gift to actually give yourself that
very much
gift of presence, just to take a moment and it's about grounding yourself. So here is where, just to touch on that quickly, is where your senses actually help you to do that. Just focus on a smell, because it's here. Focus on a sound. Focus on something that you can feel, because that will bring you right back to the here and now. And
even breath.
Absolutely.
Just focus on breath.
Focus on your breathing, and it will bring you that. And it's not, I don't want people to get the idea that we're telling them not to acknowledge the thoughts. See them.
Just be aware.
See them and let them be. But
so it's an awareness.
Yes. But it's not about obsessing about a particular thought.
No. Exactly.
Because they still need to be there. There's still a place, is a reason for them to be part of our existence, but it's how we manage that in the entirety of us being here and the being of being human.
And there's a term that we often use. It's really mastering the art of observation. So you become the observer of self, not of everyone else around you, because that takes you externally.
Takes
you away. And we have the saying of, it's all about as within,
so without.
It was what you were saying around the, what you're creating through your thoughts.
Yes.
Or through your actions or your behaviors.
You'll see that reflected in your world. If you just take a moment and realize what you're constantly obsessing about, you kind of perpetuate in your life. And so that is anything. I mean, we'll touch on that later when we come to the soul and all of that, but that is how, this is manifests and all of those kind of things. But
and then we're very quick to blame,
looking for anything else, but not wanting to look within. It's like, for me, this is not a judgment on anyone. This is just my observation through my own experience, is that I find that also takes us away from being alone.
Yes.
Because going within requires, being quiet. It's a scary place.
It's a scary.
In the beginning, it's so scary, because it's a part of yourself that you've never met, perhaps. That so yeah, I get that it's hard. It's not something that's just going to happen, but encourage people to just try to be alone, to be with self, to go within, to seek that moment of presence and now.
Because you can the only way you can do within is being present.
Yeah.
You cannot do it from any other state.
No.
And that's the thing. And to be honest, Tassie, I think what we're saying here is, if you are wanting to, or you are, if you're just listening to this, you've already stepped on a path of what we would term self-mastery or
Yes.
self-love or self-development or whatever term you'd
Yes.
like to use. So, you know, in that choice that you've made, then the going within is it's just a no-brainer. I mean, it's literally, it is something that you're going to have to do. But to your point, is it easy? No. I mean, the term we use often is you journey through these dark nights of the soul.
Yep.
Sometimes when you're in there, because you're really having to acknowledge what is within,
and
but
work
the
through
beautiful
the resistance of actually wanting to acknowledge that's like one of the huge parts that we've observed within ourselves as sisters going through this. How many times have we said, you know, you've just got to do it, you've just got to go there.
The only way is through. That is your favorite saying, and I love that.
The only way is through. You can't skip, you can't fast forward, you can't work around it. You've just got to make your way through it. So, and I have often found myself in that space where you're thinking, oh my God, this is like walking through mud. I just cannot see myself doing this. Like, and you bury yourself in whatever distraction, the series or movies or, you know, endless social media hours, but actually that's not going to do anything for you. So gotta go within.
Exactly right.
Gotta go within.
Yes, you do. Okay, Tassie, so we've spoken a little bit about the mind, and I feel like I want to end with the mind simply by saying that the mind, you use the word distraction, I love it. The mind takes us into the state of doing. So it keeps us busy.
That art of busyness that we constantly
busyness, right? Exactly. So it takes us into that space of doing constantly.
Yeah.
Where actually we want to be in the state of being. And for me, this is the beautiful transition from mind into heart.
Yes, because that's really the only place you can be.
It's the only place. I mean, that is the, you know, that heart coherence. And I suppose it's, as you say, we're never going to get rid of the mind, but it's that harmonic or that harmony that we are looking for, where heart and mind are working in beautiful synchron, you know, in sync.
Yes. Not there's no vying for the most occupation of your time or energy.
Exactly.
But that it's just a happy existence between both parts of who you are.
Both, yes. Beautiful. So, okay, let's move into now soul. Right. And I want to ask you, because I know this is something that you've done a lot of contemplation on and reflection, and I love your responses always to this.
Yeah.
What is soul, Tassie?
You know, over the years, it's really been something I've wanted to do, because it was that first intangible I could not quite get around understanding, grasping. So what is this soul that I am?
Yes.
And then, you know, with all the years of teachings and learning and being the student, which I still am, you actually realize that the soul is kind of, as we discussed the other day, it's like a part of spirit, but it kind of it attaches to the body at birth.
Okay.
So it kind of brings your physical body into like earthly life, earthly existence, earthly being. So if you want to know what the soul is, it's kind of part physical, part spirit.
Okay, so then maybe I want to go to, if we said we are spirit having the human experience.
Yeah.
So in essence, let's have a look at this term spirit. So I will share with you my understanding and how I've managed to conceptualize, because it's very hard to conceptualize. because, you know, as humans, we want to put everything into a linear explanation.
Yes.
You know, we want it all to absolutely fit in a box and make sense. And when
it doesn't,
talking about,
it's not always.
It doesn't, okay? I mean, especially when you're moving into what I term quantum spaces, which we are. We as humans are quantum.
Quantum beings.
You know, we
quantum
really and truly
thinkers.
are quantum beings, exactly. So I suppose for me, spirit is the God essence. And so here's the other thing I just wanted to say. For me, I choose to use the term God. I know people will have different terms for what is creation, or what source is sometimes referred to as the one, as source. I mean, they're different terms. Quite honestly, I think, you know, we're all talking about the same thing.
I don't think there's a wrong answer.
There's no wrong answer.
Whatever your map of the world is, whatever you feel that, you know, that all that the one is the highest.
The one is the omnipresence.
The omnipresence. Yes, I love that word. I love using that word. Yes,
it's such a beautiful word. So if we, and I do, so from my perspective, that omnipresence, I just happen to use the term God because that is my programming. I don't associate God with a gender or anything like that. I simply associate God as this, you know, infinite, energetic source.
Yes.
Right? That is absolutely love.
Yes.
And that's another topic we can talk about, like, what is love? I mean, you and I've had
we're still asking that question. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've been, again, so programmed to believe that love is this, you know,
it looks a linear kind of way. Yeah.
A very linear kind of way. So if we go back to this omnipresence and this that we understand to be energy, we have that omnipresence within us, as does everything in the universe and multiverses. I mean, we're all made up.
It is source. So
it's source. We're all made up of that same stuff.
Everywhere. Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, a tree, a plant, you know, water, you know, any creature on the planet, that, you know, the soil, the minerals. I mean, you and I love our crystals, you know, these beautiful things have source within them.
Yep.
So, you know, the configuration of how that energy comes together will be different, but we all are made up of the same stuff in essence. So for me, when I think about, and it's very simplistic, but when I think about me being spirit, it's that essence of the omnipresence that exists within me, within this suit.
Right.
That is this iteration.
Excuse the boys.
Oh, you're four-legged there.
They're just doing their own thing this morning.
Bless. Tassie has these two beautiful cats, which, by the way, if you're talking about quantum, one is called Mercury and the other's called Orion. So we have a galactic
boys.
Galactic boys. So for me, Tassie, this is what my understanding of spirit is. It's, as I say, this omnipresence that lies within me being the suit that I've chosen for this particular iteration, spiritual iteration, which happens to be human, on planet Earth.
Yes.
My understanding of spirit too is that when this suit no longer functions, i.e., I die in our linear thinking, it's my spirit. It is that omnipresence that continues. That is
like
infinite.
eternally. It has no
eternal. That's the word.
Yeah, for sure. So here's where, if I may, talk about the soul. So the soul. So you've got the physical body, which we've now spoken about, and you've got the soul, and you've got spirit. So the soul is almost like the connector, the translator between spirit world or spirit self and physical self.
Wow.
So it is the go-between. I love the word translator because it really is helping you to understand in your human form. Well, if you choose to undertake the journey of work and awareness and remembering and recalling who you are, what your spirit self really is, what the spirit self is.
Yeah.
So the soul is what makes up the soul is the auric field, the auric body.
Wow.
So if you want to really know so if you're going to go back a step, the body is actually the aura, and the physical body is actually your body. So you are also part physical, part energy, right? So
because we're vibrating, and that vibration extends further than just the physical that you can see. Okay.
So the soul, I mean, the auric field, is, well, don't get stuck on the numbers, but it's about 30 feet in, or 30 meters, in diameter.
Yes.
That's how far the auric field extends. And the soul is within that and beyond that.
Got it.
Right?
Yes.
And it's within that auric field that you're actually experiencing the dis-ease, the trauma. So we talk about trauma as many faces.
Yes.
Like you can have physical, emotional, mental trauma, but also there's the trauma that we inflict on our body, which is in whatever we consume, and that's not just eating. So again, an awareness of what you're taking in your mind, what you're taking in, what you're watching, what you're listening to.
Wow.
All of those things. And you actually get holes in your auric field.
Yes.
So if you want to look at the body as like a light bulb structure.
Yeah.
So these layers, these 7 layers of the auric field, they are actually allowing your body to function optimally. So when you are exposed to trauma, and sometimes even something as simple as excessive alcohol, smoking, eating spicy food, chocolate, we all know the things that are not good.
Substance abuse
of any kind, anything that is not good for you, it can cause holes in the auric field.
Well, this has actually been proven because, people, there's photography now that can film your auras, and otherwise known as your energetic body, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's just another maybe more scientific term.
Correct.
And we've got that technology now that can actually film that. So, and for people that, let's say, have been addicts for many years, have actually developed these holes in the auric field. So yes, I mean, I absolutely get that. So getting back to soul again, because I love this explanation. Soul is almost the essence.
Yeah.
That
the spirit essence of every individual. That's how I like to see it. Is so we've all got a part of spirit that's manifested in a soul in each individual that is uniquely placed here, has a suit here, all of those things. And
I feel like,
unique.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like the soul is the glue that kind of holds the spirit side of us and the physical body side of us.
It's the glue. Yeah, it's the kind of the glue that keeps us together. But they all, I mean, there's a seamless connection. It's not like
so it's not linear again.
No, again, don't think linear here. But when I look at it like the soul is every individual's unique spirit manifestation.
Yes, got you. So now you and I both believe that there is life outside of planet Earth and so galactic. Sure. I mean, I live in that galactic space, right? I mean, talking about galactic.
Absolutely.
So So would you say, and I know we've discussed this, but would you say that possibly there's other life forms in the multiverses, but possibly even in our universe, that are, because all life form would be spirit, right?
Yes.
Because anything that is
source,
deemed a life, yes, comes from source, right? So there would be life forms that could possibly be soulless.
Yes. I'm going to give you a yes answer, because not everybody will have a physical body.
Yeah. Okay. Got you.
Right. And so maybe there is a form that they may take, but it's not a human physical form. It's not a skin. It's not skin as we know it, but it's a form. And if you going back to what you said about vibration, and so this is a dense vibration, the 3D body. And so if you were to be vibrating at a much lighter vibration, and when I say light, it's not less than, it's just lighter, holding more light,
faster frequency,
more light,
faster vibration,
yeah, more source energy flowing through you.
Yes.
Then yeah, I would say there is no soul, but there's definitely spirit presence. So the omnipresence is everywhere. It's just what it looks like. And it's again coming back to the unseen, because you're wanting it to look a certain way, and that's part of our conditioning, right? It's like,
yeah,
something doesn't look a way that's familiar. It's scary. It's unknown.
So we should really, I mean, I'm sort of beginning to sum this up now, because again, I think there will be a part 2 to this.
For sure.
So really, if we're saying, because we are spirit having a human experience, we're really looking for that beautiful alignment of mind, body, spirit, and soul.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just soul or spirit.
And that's why, and that's why people, we kind of need to move into the awareness of being more than the physical body. Yes. And that by the time anything manifests in your physical body, it's already gone through so many layers of processing, and it's like we have an opportunity at a different, at the soul level, to kind of make to course correct.
Yes.
And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. It's not like a, snap of the finger overnight, go to a healer. I mean, we'll talk about those things as well. It's really just recognizing your spirit self, recalling your spirit self.
Recalling. I love that word, because it's interesting. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they said, oh, we want to go on a journey of enlightenment.
Yeah.
And I sort of countered by saying, but are you not already enlightened? I mean, if you're a spirit having a human experience, then you're already enlightened. The enlightenment is within you. So but I absolutely got what was being said.
Where they were coming from. Yes.
I want to recall that. I want to recall that beautifulness of spirit, of enlightenment that is there. I mean, if you're spirit, you're enlightened. That's how it is. And really, it's getting out of the amnesia that we, when we do incarnate into this sense. Yes, and the programming. It's sort of almost moving on from that, if I could word it like that, to this recalling of our enlightenment, and which is spirit-based, right? And then, as you say, connecting them, because I think what's also important to mention here is, if we're saying we're spirit, then we are completely and utterly connected to all that is.
We are one.
There's no separation.
We are one, I mean, it sounds so cliche because it's used so often, but it is the honest, simplest truth. And one thing that I really want to just touch on here is, we're talking about the alignment and the connection between mind, body, soul, and spirit, right? And I feel that also we need to stop wanting to, in line with your question of enlightenment, stop wanting to attain something that feels like it's outside of us, that is not who we are.
Yeah.
When we are all of that. And so
we are all of that. We are it.
So much more. You know, so stop thinking of yourself as less than because you associate yourself to be a only 3D body.
Correct. Yes. No, this is beautiful. I mean, I have an affirmation that I use every day, and it begins with I am.
And
I am.
Yes. Yes.
I am.
And whatever you say after that is you telling and affirming to all that is that this is what you are. So it's so powerful. The power of that's why I say the power of thought is so powerful, but also equally the power of the spoken word. It's like what you are energetically putting out there even more. You've got to be so careful, you know, because we're talking about self-talk, and then when it comes out you really are starting to tell the universe this is what you are.
And absolutely. And sound, voice, has frequency attached to it.
Absolutely. So of course, vibration.
Yeah, it has a vibration. So if you're putting the negative stuff out there, then okay, that is a choice. But in that choice, be aware of the manifestation, because bearing in mind, I mean, there's no discrimination on the planet in terms of what you manifest.
No.
So it is what it is. So it's interesting you say whatever you follow. So my affirmation is, so the affirmation is I am, and then I follow with Creator.
Yes. Because you are in essence creating your experience here.
Yes. So I am creator.
Love that.
Creator.
I love that. And I don't want people to get, again, if this doesn't resonate with you, I think this is a great time to remind you, you know, don't get stuck on it. These are our thoughts, our beliefs, and our experiences here, that's coming to the fore. The affirmation I love, and I actually did a post on this on my Instagram yesterday, was that I am a multi-dimensional being.
Yes.
Again, coming back to so much that is linear, so much that is stuck in the physical, is that we can only do one thing. We can only be good at one thing. That is so not true. We are not even tapping into a fraction of what we are capable of. And this is not to say that either of us, Al or I, have mastered this. I mean, we are still working at becoming all that we discuss here, you know, the best versions of ourselves. I'm still working on being this multidimensional being, because I constantly am learning what that actually means for me.
Totally. And I mean, if you're talking multidimensional, there's no beginning and there's no end. So it is a constant work. I don't like the word work, but it's a constant evolution in progress.
Because energy doesn't die. Energy doesn't cease to exist. So this is what we are. We are infinite possibility, infinite energy.
Potentiality.
Yes. Oh, yes. Love that word, Al. That potentiality. We are all of that and so much more.
So Taffy, I think this is a good time to probably end this conversation, because there's so much reflection.
So much has been shared.
So much been shared, and but that really to sort of think about, you know, on what has been said, how, and maybe this is part 2, because we've been speaking about, you know, being infinite and multidimensional and being I am creator. So how does this link to the manifestation of prosperity, abundance,
and purpose,
you know, all of those
beautiful things. Purpose, as you mentioned.
Absolutely, So I think that's, you know, these are all beautiful conversations that we'll be having in the future. But I think there's been a lot discussed, so maybe it's a good time to end this particular video. And I would urge, if this did resonate with you, just to sit in reflection
Yes.
Of what has been said, and really tap in, because that's what we're saying. What resonated with you, what didn't, because if it didn't, just boot it out. It's absolutely fine and good, because you need to question stuff. I think it's really, really important to be
question everything.
Questioning stuff.
Question everything.
Question everything. There's, I mean, as we're saying, if everything is infinite, then who says one thing is right and one is wrong, But I would, yes, just my closing comments to say, loved this conversation, by the way, my friend, really loved it. To please post if you do have questions, or what did this conversation do for you? Did it resonate? Didn't it? We just really would love the interaction from you. And then, of course, any other subjects or things you'd like to discuss, post, email. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, thanks, Al. Again, these are just kind of the conversations I love having with you always. I mean, we can speak for hours. Yes, please, we'd love to hear from you guys. But also, just a reminder, if anybody is interested in having one-on-one time with Al and I, that we are totally open to that. And the group work sessions, the circle work as well, we are open to that. So please email us, comment. We would love to hear from you, and we'd love to continue sharing this platform with all of you, and continue to grow with you, because that's what we are. All of us are growing at this time.
It's a journey of growth.
So much.
It's a journey of I want to say evolution, whatever that is, versus devolution, right? Just moving forward. I don't even know if that sounds linear, but just moving out into
look, even if you're moving, even if it's a move to the side, left or right, it's, as long as you are moving,
it's a move.
You are moving, you are not stagnant, and you cannot be. So we hope that this has reached you on some level, has made you question certain things or parts of your life, and really, as Al said, just take some time for introspection. And with love, always with love.
Always with love. And on that note, gratitude, my friend, and gratitude
to you,
gratitude out there, and we love you.
Much love. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with anyone you feel this will resonate with. Thanks, Al, for your time, as always.
Thank you.
Much love.
Much love.